I was a teacher for 32 years. I taught technology and worked at the high school level and enjoyed every minute of it.
I have been in video production my entire career. I received a degree in radio, TV, film production from the University of Georgia and was fortunate to be able to work in that field for over 25 years.
For 30 years prior to joining Home Video Studio, I was a board-certified family physician in the Tampa, Florida area.
Hi, my name is Kyle Cooley. I run Cooley Video Services. It's a home video studio in Monroe, Michigan.
My name is Cheryl Kennedy, home video studio in Green Cove Springs, Florida, which is just south of Jacksonville, Florida. I opened my studio in the fall of 2019.
Hi, my name is John Failing. I'm from Arvada, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver, and I opened my studio in January of 2018.
I chose teaching as a profession. I really enjoyed teaching a lot, but I knew that as I got to my 30-year mark, I was going to be less and less enamored with the process as time went on. And I did not want to be an angry old school teacher in the classroom. I wanted to be someone who always was energetic and enthusiastic. And so I sort of wanted to plan my exit from teaching, but I was too young to retire and do nothing, so I needed something to fill my time. And I've always been interested in technology, so when I researched Home Video Studio, I thought it was a really good fit for me, and it's turned out to be a perfect fit.
So throughout my video production career, I often would get Video Maker magazine, and in the back of the magazine there was a little ad for a home video studio. And I remember seeing that and thinking, that's kind of cool. I always had really wonderful jobs with great organizations, but I kind of in the back of my mind, I always thought, that would be something that I'd love to do at some point in my life. And so there was even one time where I cut that ad out and I just kind of saved it for years because I didn't want to forget, hoping that one day I might be able to look into it further.
I basically, before even deciding about show and tell, I was sold on the experience of Home Video Studio. And I had to work a little bit hard to convince my wife that it was something I really wanted to do. So initially I talked to her about it, and she actually, without second thought, she said, no, we can't invest that kind of money in a project of yours.
She was neutral at best.
It took a lot of discussion and prayer, quite honestly, for us to come to this decision. My husband is incredibly supportive. We had been through a few transitions and moves, and so through prayer and through discussion and looking at the finances and looking at the possibilities, he fully supported me. And we both are believers, and we just felt like this was something God was leading us to. Even though he's not really in this business, he fully supports what I do and knew I would work hard and do my best to make this work.
I actually spent a fair amount of time writing a nice letter trying to explain my passions, my reasons for trying to pursue Home Video Studio. And that changed her mind, and she said, okay, you really sound like you really want to do this. And so then we went ahead and made reservations and to go to Indianapolis for show and tell.
As mentioned before, there was a period of transition in my life where I moved from one city to another, and I was trying to decide what sort of work I wanted to do, and I remembered that little ad, and so I had called Robert just to get some information. I got the information from him and then scheduled the show and tell, went up to Indianapolis, and meeting Robert and hearing the story of Home Video Studio and what they offered and what was a possibility for me, I just became instantly hooked.
I would say I'm 3/4 time. In other words, I make my own schedule, but I don't feel that I have to every single day be in the studio from a set time to a set time. And my version of Home Video Studio is in my home, and that also in some ways gives me the leeway to come and go as far as working on projects, and also if I need to stay late or go back downstairs to restart a transfer or work on video editing. And so there's more flexibility in my case. And in the first couple of years, I was also working with, or my dog Zoe was with me, and she would come down to the studio sometimes, and she'd always very often ask to go out for walks. And so it was much easier having a studio at home, so I could take her out whenever she needed or wanted to go out for a walk.
I have kind of an unusual circumstance. I sort of throttle my business depending on the time of year, and some parts of the year I will go full-time or even overtime, the busy seasons, and other times I'll throttle it back and I will work part-time.
I run the business mostly full-time. I enjoy the lifestyle aspect of home video studio. I do have the business in my home. I have an office studio. And so it gives me the luxury of not having the storefront where I'd have to put on the sign on the door if I were going to a networking lunch or something like that. Also, we are empty nesters, so this allows me to be able to do some work at night, do some work on the weekend. And I say work, but I don't really feel like it's work. So I run the business as organized as I can, but it's not necessarily, you know, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's very flexible, and it's a blast.
Running my own studio is kind of heaven on earth. I love the flexibility. As I said before, I work different hours. A typical day, I'll do my home type work because I live in a big old house, and then at 1 o'clock I'll open my doors and work till 5:30. I'll entertain customers. I just recently set up at a reception area that has been working really well, and my studio is downstairs in my basement, so I meet people upstairs in a nice bright area, and I do all my production downstairs, and I stay busy.
I think, based on what I've seen so far through the last 4.5, 5 years, that people come to home video studio with different already innate abilities or interests, and home video studio helps you fill in what you don't know, whether it be the technical aspect of things, whether it is the business aspect, whether it is communicating with people as a marketing person, getting out into your community. There's multiple things that you may, to be the full picture that works the best, but you may have some strengths and some weaknesses, and the ability to fill in what you don't know, I think, is the most important part.
When I started up, I often thought of starting up my own video business, and I realized I could probably do it and maybe would be able to do it, but it would be very difficult because there's so many small things that you don't think about it when you're starting a small business that home video studio takes care of. Even now that I've been with the company for quite a few years, I still are very appreciative of all the different little bits and pieces that are taken care of that I don't have to worry about, so I can do my job and be successful.
Everyone's different. I generally start off as fairly introverted in relation to putting myself out there and talking with other people. And they make it easy. Home video studio, everyone really is working with you as kind of a partner in this whole experience. And the camaraderie comes from just acceptance. There's never been a time when I didn't feel like I was accepted. There was never a time where I felt like because I didn't know the same degree of things that the more seasoned owners knew that they didn't want to share and help bring me up to that level. So, from a standpoint of professionally, they're there for you. And when you are participating in the getaways and advanced training, there's multiple times of events, going out to eat, going maybe to movie night, just sitting and chatting and talking and get to know your fellow studio owners. And you'll find out that they're coming from all different backgrounds. and you hear about their families, and you really do become part of the bigger picture and family of home video studio. I think for the last 5 years that every year is more and more that I learn more about individual studios and their families, and I'm getting more and more, I guess, ingrained in the family, and it is a very important part for me. So it's hard as an adult, you know, especially if you have changed occupations. You were with a certain, you know, set of people for multiple years, and then you are perhaps close to retirement, but you're not ready to retire and you want to do something else. Home video studio welcomes you, and the people are absolutely amazing. So I would not be where I am and would have not advanced and be more vocal and feel more at ease without the family aspect of the whole home video studio system.
I love my I love my business. I like the flexibility. I like the technical aspects of it. I like that there's always new things to learn, and I can use it as an excuse to buy more technological toys and justify it by making them pay for themselves.
As far as trying to open and operate a studio on your own, you would really have to be multi-talented and have experience and expertise in multiple areas, everything from business to marketing to the technical aspect, editing. And even if you had all those pieces in place, just getting yourself seen would be very hard. The knowledge that is presented as to how to get yourself out there, having already an organized and well situated and populated website is, you know, it's very important to have that. And you'd have to work with a developer, spend thousands of dollars to have a website developed. And then you yourself would have to keep making sure everything was working. Just finding the resources, finding out how to work with the accounting software, how to work with phone messaging, how to do multiple things. It would be very hard on your own. And I think the biggest thing is that once you even were set to go, your exposure just wouldn't be there. The next aspect of it is you would be stagnant. You wouldn't really have the ongoing education and being able to improve your game, whether it be marketing, whether it be learning new techniques in video editing, latest software and trends, and just being able to advance, keep going. You would not have that. You also wouldn't have any support as far as you run into any kind of difficulties. You wouldn't be able to ask about how do I enter this particular type of an unusual circumstance in my software for my accounting. How do I go ahead and fix this problem I'm having technically? How do I go to the next level in working with this software? And it would not be very, very fun, nor would it be as nearly as profitable, I would believe, if you had to do this on your own.
My advice to someone who is interested in becoming a home video studio owner is to call Robert, is to go to a show and tell. Call any of us owners, any of those of us who are owners. I did that when I was researching home video studio. I called a number of other owners, and they were so kind and so helpful in this decision process. And a lot of them had different backgrounds. Some had no video experience and then they got into the business. Some had video experience on a limited scale. So there was just I learned that there were a variety of backgrounds. And so I think do the research, call Robert, and then make an educated decision. Come to a show and tell and learn and grow from that, and then you can make an educated decision.
The advice I'd give a prospective owner would be that you have to know yourself, but you have to be open for some direction. because there is a proven formula with the home video studio. But it's amazing once you get the basics down how much flexibility you have to do what you want to do and do what you're good at and what you like to do. And you, as I've said before, you can kind of make it as successful as you want to.
My name is John Failing. I'm located in Arvada, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver. And I started home video studio, opened my studio January of 2018.
I'm Cheryl Kennedy, Home Video Studio, Green Cove Springs. See you soon.
See you later.